Jai Gurudev. Before reading today's first paragraph of page 248, we need to take a moment, close our eyes, and bring to our minds all the people who we are very, very attached to. Let's all close our eyes. Bring to your mind all those people who you are very, very attached. Your spouse, your child, your parent, siblings, friends, colleagues, relatives, whoever you are very attached to. Keep your eyes closed and remember all of them. And remind yourself, this person who I am thinking about and whose image is in my mind right now is going to die. And I who is so attached to this body, which is 5 feet or 6 feet piece of flesh and bones and blood, I am going to die. And observe the sensation you are experiencing because of this truth. Keep your eyes closed and observe the sensation happening. And let that sensation turn around. Observe it and let it dissolve. Let it melt away. Till it does not melt away, keep observing it. This person that I love very much is going to die. I am going to die. This body that I have named, or my parents have named Ekta, is going to die. Death is inevitable. It must happen to all. It comes without an invitation. you ready to embrace death right now? Death is inevitable. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And when you feel complete and you experience that the sensation has completely dissolved, then you may slowly and gradually, taking your own time, you may open your eyes. Jai Gurudev. Death is inevitable. So, if I am attached to this body, it is my foolishness. It is again another notion. Last week, we spoke about notions at length. We spoke about how notions we create about how other people are or how situations are. A very important notion I create is about this body. First notion is I am the body. And two, at some subtle level, you have this kind of a belief that I, this body, is not going to die. You always think somebody else is going to die. Yeah? It is not wrong. I, the Purusha, the soul, moves on, does not die. Yes, but there is a little confusion there. I don't see myself as the soul or the Purusha or that thumb-sized drop of Brahman consciousness. I see myself as this 5-6 feet of blood and bones and flesh. And that is where the mixture happens. That is where the notional misunderstanding or misconception happens. You see what I'm saying? Yeah? Buddha said, see it as it is, not the way you want to see it as. Yeah? So if I look at it as it is, yeah? I am the soul. The soul moves on. This body is perishable. This body is going to die. And this is the highest truth. So it is really foolishness, utter ignorance and stupidity to be attached to this 5 foot or 6 foot or 7 foot piece of flesh and blood and bones. Correct? That is the next stage of your homework on notions. Recognize that you all have this notion that I am the body, and then there's the reality, the truth, which is I do not die. Yeah? But my problem is I have identified with the body and I've forgotten that I am the Purusha. The Purusha is the one that does not die. Yes? the body is going to die. But now because of this confusion, I have got attached to my body. This is at a very deep level. You may think that no, when you told me to close my eyes and you said I am going to die, it did not create sensations. But when you said that my loved one is going to die, it created sensations. Recognize this. My loved one is also a relationship of this body. So it's not different. You have still mixed up facts. Yes? It is not how it, I am not seeing it as it is. I am seeing it how I want it to be. Yes? Death is inevitable. So homework number 1, recognize that you have this notion of I am the body. Along with this notion, I am not going to die. And this creates the confusion, the conflict within. This is something you can meditate upon. Yeah? So let's read page 248. We move ahead with our study on notions and our understanding on notions. He takes us deeper into how we forget that we have mixed up our understanding and we have got onto a wrong notion, and that's where we start fearing death, yeah, and get attached to this body. Page 248.
Yat kinchit uditam loke yenna bhashaspatha vadivi tat sarvam prapyate rama ragadvesha parikshayat. Vasistha continues. When one realizes that death is inevitable to all, why will he grieve over the death of relatives or the approach of one's own end? When one realizes that everyone is sometimes prosperous and otherwise at other times, why will he be elated or depressed? When one sees that living beings appear and disappear like ripples on the surface of consciousness, where is the cause for sorrow? What is true is always true. What exists always exists. And what is unreal is ever unreal. Where is the cause for sorrow?
Yeah. So the first paragraph is very clear. Once you get out of this wrong understanding, yeah, this mixture that you have created within you, yeah, of I am the body and I do not die. These confusing signals that you are giving yourself is the reason why we are so messed up. Yeah? And that is why we do not understand the reality of death and fear it. There is really nothing to fear. Like I have already spoken about this a million times, that death is nothing but changing this garb. I'm tired of the cream color, so I drop this and probably wear a blue color. That's all that is going to happen. Death is inevitable and it is not painful. Death happens only to the body, and I am not the body. I am the soul, the Purusha. I move on. I do not die. This clarity needs to happen to you as a swabhava, not because Ekta is saying, not because Gurudev is saying, not because Vasistha is saying, or not because Lord Buddha or any other sages out there are saying. You as a person need to come to this realization. And the realization will happen only when this notional clouds that you have created start clearing away. only you can work on your notions. When one realizes that death is inevitable to all, why will he grieve over the death of relatives or the approach of one's own end? When one realizes that everyone is sometimes prosperous and otherwise at other times, why will he be elated or depressed? When one sees that living beings appear and disappear like ripples on the surface of consciousness, where is the cause for sorrow? What is true is always true. What exists always exists. And what is unreal is ever unreal. Where is the cause for sorrow? Are you seeing this? This paragraph, he is talking about seeing it as it is and in no other way. It is what it is. Yeah. Things are the way they are. The moment you start seeing things the way they are, the conflict within stops. Why? Because the conflict is because of your notion. Your notion says, I want things to be this way. Yes. And the notion is not just, I want it to be this way. This is the way. And it is going to be like this. And this is the right way. And no other way is acceptable. But life does not move on your terms. Yeah. Some disease happens. Some flu comes. Yeah, you get a backache. Yeah. The attachment to the body says, oh, I need to go to an ER for a backache or flu. You see that? Yeah. That understanding, that intelligence in you just rests aside. Notional clouds can confuse you and take you away from truth. See truth as it is, otherwise you will exaggerate pain and increase your pain. Have you realized you fall more sick when you keep thinking about sickness? Yeah. A person who does not bother too much about sickness doesn't fall sick at all. Yeah. Recognize this. Here lies the truth. You are pulling your karma phalam by your attachment to a particular thing. Here, for example, is the body. My attachment to the body is so heavy, so much raga for a healthy body, I pull disease towards me. Why? Because craving for a healthy body has aversion to bad health. The fear walks hand in hand with it. Yes, universe does not understand I want and I don't want. Universe just understands the magnetic pull, the strongest energy. Fear will be stronger than the craving for health. That fearful energy will pull disease towards you even more strongly. So if you have a little pain, your fear of that pain will exaggerate the pain. Yeah. In medical school, sometimes we are taught these psychology classes in which you're supposed to, if the patient is in fear, your first job is to calm the patient down. So even if a patient is like, oh no, it's paining you, calm the patient down and say, okay, relax, now open your eyes, yeah, and see. Take a deep breath in. Okay, where do you live? What's your name? Yeah, how old are you? And you get the patient entangled in other kind of conversation for a minute, and then ask, see, now, is the pain as much as you thought it was? And he'll definitely say, oh no, it's fine. Yeah, what is this? That your fear exaggerates pain. Your fear of losing this body attracts more disease towards you. This is how karma works. There is no person sitting up there who decides which disease will come to you when. Yes, karma is fair and square about it. Yeah, you attract the diseases in your life. Similarly, you attract pain in your life. Yeah, if you lose money, you lose relationships, you lose a job, you have attracted it. Nobody else is responsible for it. Yeah? So recognize this. Homework number 2 for you. Look at the big things, the big stones in your jar today, the big events happening, maybe a disease, maybe a difficult situation at work, yeah? Maybe a difficult relationship at home. And really, honestly, do a thorough introspection. How have I attracted it? The question is not, have I attracted it or not? You definitely have. There is no option about that. How have I attracted this? What is the underlying fear, or what is the underlying cause, yeah, that has led to this? It could be so many emotions, hatred, negativity, all the time having pessimistic thoughts. Yeah? So many reasons could be there. You observe, you do a thorough introspection. Cool? Let's read ahead and see what Vasistha advises us to do in such situations.
Hence, one should not pin one's faith, hope and aspiration on that which is unreal, for such hope is bondage. O Rama, do thou live in this world without entertaining any hope. What has to be done, and what is inappropriate should be given up. Live happily and playfully in this world without considerations of desirable and undesirable. The infinite consciousness alone exists everywhere and at all times. What appears to be is but an appearance. When the appearance is realized as appearance, that which is realized. Either realize that I am not, and these experiences are not mine, or know that I am everything. You will be free from the lure of world appearance. Both these attitudes are good. You will be freed from attraction and aversion, raga, dvesha. Whatever there is in the world, in the firmament and in heaven, is attained by one who has destroyed the twin forces of attraction and aversion. Whatever the ignorant man does, prompted by these forces, leads him to instant sorrow. One who has overcome these forces, even if he is learned in the scriptures, is indeed pitiable and despicable.
Very important. Here again he brings up raga and dvesha. So he says, hence one should not pin one's faith, hope and aspiration on that which is unreal. Yeah. Now we spoke about the notions and the notional cloud that I have formed around me, and I get confused because of this notional cloud. I have assumed something and I hold on to that belief. Yes, I am holding on to a hope. I am holding on to an aspiration. Yeah. He says one should not pin one's faith, hope and aspiration on that which is unreal. It's a cloud. It's a notional cloud, and it's going to move away. 1,000,000 times he has now said that it is all a dream. Yeah, and it's more layers of dream, a dream within a dream. My job is to wake up, be aware in this moment. Yeah, recognize it as it is. When you recognize it as it is, you become beshart. Beshart in English would be unconditional. Yeah, there is no shart, there is no condition that must be fulfilled for me to be happy. I am happy. Even if everybody around is unhappy, I am happy. Even if the situation around is bad, yeah, I correct it, I take whatever action is required, but here I am still. It comes from purity. It comes from lack of notion. Yeah? Your inner space should be very clear. If your inner space is clouded by notions, then you will not be able to be unconditional or beshart. Are you seeing what I'm saying? That state of being unconditional happens only if this inner space lacks notional clouds. You see things as they are, not how you want it to be. Yeah? This is very important because you might be surrounded by people who love to live in their world of Manohar Kahaniya, yes, which might not be true. Yeah? And they tend to pull you into that world of, their own dreamland, wonderland. But you need to have that clarity, that focus, that sharpness of awareness to be able to see things as they are and not as you would want it to be. When you can see things as they are, then you drop this attaching to a raga or a dvesha. Yeah? You will not attach onto that which is unreal, because that hope is just bondage. Yeah? This attaching can be raga, which is I like, or a dvesha, which is I dislike. Both, Both is pinning one's faith or hope or aspiration to that which is unreal. Clear? O Rama, do thou live in this world without entertaining any hope. What has to be done has to be done, and what is inappropriate should be given up. Yeah? Now this is very confusing. Yeah? You have to live in this world without entertaining any hope. Oh, this world is hopeless. This is very depressing. Oh, what is the point of life? No. Yeah? People who live in their own wonderland create all these stories in their head. These stories are just a figment of imagination of their own minds. And that is what they call hope. So hope is nothing but a figment of your own imagination created by your own mind. Are you seeing this? He's saying, drop these imaginary wonderlands that you have created and see things as they are. Clear? That is the meaning of live in this world without entertaining any hope. What has to be done, has to be done. And what is inappropriate should be given up. Means what? These notional clouds that I have created of how things should be, or how I would like them to be, or how it is right, or how it is rosy. All this needs to be dropped, given up because it is inappropriate. Your desiring itself is inappropriate. Yes? Just be with what is. What is, is. That is the meaning of doing what has to be done. You will be able to do what has to be done only when you can see things as they are. Yeah. Live happily and playfully in this world without considerations of desirable and undesirable. Yes, desirable here is again latching onto a raga, and undesirable is becoming averse to a dvesha. Yeah. Both of these are notions. Both of these are how I would like it to be. Yeah, I'll give you a very small example. You look at a sweet, a candy, a gulab jamun, Lindt chocolate. Before you even pick it up to put it in your mouth, your mind has already created a wonderland, an image of how tasty it is going to be, how wonderful you are going to feel after eating it, yeah, and how satiated your taste buds are going to be. You've already created a wonderland in your mind. Even before the hand goes to the plate, picks it up and brings it to your lips, this whole Manohar Kahaniya, wonderland images have been created. Yes? These images are that needs to be cut out. These are inappropriate because this is what really takes the pleasure away. When you actually taste that chocolate, for a moment you feel, oh, it's not the way I thought it would be. So what is the problem? Is the problem with the Lindt chocolate? No, it's the same Lindt chocolate manufactured by the same company. They've been doing it year after year, day after day, using the same recipe, the same manufacturing process. Yeah. One day you loved it and today you did not. What changed? My wonderland and Manohar Kahaniya are the obstruction. Is this clear? Yeah, I give you a very simple example of a chocolate, of a candy. You apply this to your relationships, apply this to your job, apply this to traveling somewhere. Forget traveling, going to the grocery store. Before doing any action, there is this notional story, wonderland story created in me. Yeah? This is what needs to be cut off because I actually fuel this story in my head, and this prevents me from seeing things as they are. Clear? The infinite consciousness alone exists everywhere, at all times. What appears to be is but an appearance. When the appearance is realized as appearance, that which is realized. Have you been on a road, very well tarred, black, beautiful road, and the sun is shining on a hot summer's day, and you're driving, and in the distance on the black tarred road, very well done road, you see it shining, and it shines as if there is water on the road. But really there is no water. When you go closer, the mirage of that water disappears. Yes? Exactly the same thing happens when you learn to cut off this wonderland image of every little experience, of every little thing that you are going to do. You see things as they are. You stop seeing that water on the road which is not there anyways. You see the road as it is. And the road is the Brahman consciousness. The Brahman consciousness is the only truth. Everything else is just a mirage, yeah, a creation of this mind. When the appearance is realized as appearance, that which is realized. Very important statement. When you realize that mirage on the road as a mirage, it disappears. You understand what is. Yeah? So that which is realized. And what is? Just that beautiful black tarred road. Yeah? Either realize that I am not and these experiences are not mine, or know that I am everything. You will be free from the lure of world appearance. Both these attitudes are good. You will be freed from attraction and aversion, which is raga, dvesha. Same thing Ashtavakra told us. Yes, I am everything or I am nothing. Both take you to the same reality. Yeah, I am the same consciousness which is in that person that I hate. I am the same consciousness in that person that I love. I am the same consciousness in this object that I detest. I am the same consciousness which is in this object that I crave for. Oh, it's the same consciousness everywhere, whether in people, whether in things, whether in situations. I am in everything. So foolish to go on craving for these things, because at the end of actually acquiring these things, I do not feel the peace that I am looking for. Because the peace is not in the people and situations and things. The peace is in the recognition that I am that consciousness which is all pervading, which is in everything. And I am that. And she is that, and he is that, and it is that. Oh, I am everything. Clear? This way will work. Or I am nothing. Yes, I am not this body. Yes, close your eyes and see, where are you in the body? Are you in the heart? Are you in the head? Maybe in the stomach. Maybe in the tip of your toes. Maybe in the knee. Slowly open your eyes. Could you find yourself anywhere? Oh, I am not this body. Yeah, just like a glow of the candle flame, yeah, is sticking onto that wax. Yeah, it will be beautiful wax statue. Yeah, and the candle flame is sticking onto it, but the candle flame cannot find its reality anywhere in the length and breadth of that statue. Just like that. Oh, I am not this body. I am not this body. I am not this mind even. This mind is also all the time here, there. It's never really still. I cannot say I am the mind. Otherwise, I would have been able to control it, right? Yeah. When I sleep in the night, the mind is always on. I cannot identify with that mind which is all the time running here and there. I am not the mind even. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am not this memory. I have a memory. I have a tool called the body. I have a tool called the intellect. I am not this ego even. That is another false identification. Oh, I am nothing. When you come to that recognition, I am nothing, the I drops. When the I drops, you merge with the Brahman consciousness. Both ways you reach the Brahman consciousness. Both techniques are wonderful. Which is your technique? Homework number 3. I am everything or I am nothing. Which is your technique? Whatever there is in the world, in the firmament and in heaven is attained by one who has destroyed the twin forces of attraction and aversion. Whatever the ignorant man does, prompted by these forces, leads him to instant sorrow. One who has not overcome these forces, even if he is learned in the scriptures, is indeed pitiable and despicable. Only an intelligent one can go beyond raga and dvesha. Now raga and dvesha are all the time constantly attacking me, engulfing me, pulling me from here, pulling me from there. They have enveloped me. Now how do I gain clarity with all these rushing like waves into me? He has given you a very straight, short solution. Focus on what is. Drop what you want it to be. Just focusing on what is, the raga and dvesha will withdraw. These waves will pull back. They will move away from you. So this is something you really need to contemplate about today. Can I look at things, situations and people as they are without creating a big Manohar Kahani in my head? That's the homework for the week. Let's stop here. And you just start looking at things as they are, not as you want it to be. Clear? The rest is more like just story form. He says, O Rama, for your spiritual awakening, I declare again and again that this world appearance is like a long dream. Wake up, wake up. Behold the self which shines like a sun. And then Vasistha, who suddenly became silent when he found that Rama was completely absorbed in the self, resumed his discourse after an interval and after Rama had returned to normal consciousness. This we will start with next week. Like Rama goes into deep contemplation and becomes silent, you go into deep contemplation this week. You think about, can I be with something as it is, not as I want it to be? And I will see you next week. Jai Gurudev.